Okay, welcome everybody to this special Iyar webinar. The month of Iyar is the month of healing. The letters of Iyar, Aleph, Yud, Resh, Ani, Hashem, Rofecha. We'll go into it in a second. Okay, but we've started a discussion about the quartz crystal thanks to Tzivia, who told us how beneficial it is for her husband. Okay, and I think I'm going to try this. Okay, we'll try it. And the quartz crystal is really an incredible stone and helps us to remain alert. I found it extremely beneficial. And Elisheva asked what size stone. So I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be big. This is the size stone that I have. And the other day I told the ladies when I was driving like this is my steering wheel and I'm driving away. Okay. And holding my quartz crystal and Baruch Hashem. And then Randy said, but you have to have a lot of emunah. So we always need to have emunah. Okay. I definitely agree with that. However, what I do want to say is I've given this quartz crystal to people who said, I don't believe, I don't think, I don't know.
No, you believe in Hashem, not the stone.
Exactly. Okay, fine. We always believe in Hashem, and people who don't believe in Hashem still benefit from some of the many beauties and amazing things that
Okay,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu has
okay,
given us. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to mute everybody, and I am going to begin. Okay, I'm going to continue because that was an interesting beginning because I think the quartz crystal actually is the stone that introduced me to the world of crystals because I told you many years ago when I began and I entered this crystal journey, I knew nothing about crystals. And when I say nothing, I really mean nothing. I mean, I didn't know what a diamond was. That I've always known what a diamond is, and maybe an emerald and maybe a sapphire, but I didn't know. And then when I started to move into this world and study about the crystals, I was told that the quartz crystal gives you energy. And I held it and I saw and I felt that it gave me energy. Energy. It was such a tangible piece of evidence that the crystals have power. That was from then on, that was actually what got me going. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and properly. Hello. Great. Okay. So it's really great to have everybody here today, and I thank you so much for joining me. We're going to move into this healing world, and healing, okay, is a broad term because we heal physically, we heal emotionally, we heal spiritually, so many different things. And that's one of the incredible things with the crystals is that they are able to understand what is going on for somebody at a physical level, at a spiritual level, and at an emotional level. So at many different levels, we can do healing, Baruch Hashem. Okay, so I'm Gila Slonim, and and I'm grateful to have been many places, and to have been interviewed and had podcasts, all different places, and and I feel I'm always very happy to oblige and to join and to go to these places because I want to share these wonders of the crystals. They're very special, they're very beautiful, and they are a gift from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. There's something, one of the many, Hashem has given us many wonderful things in this world, and the crystals are one of them, and many people are not aware of it. And I have been blessed to have uncovered or to have chanced upon this knowledge, and I've studied it and I continue to study it. And I really want to share it with everybody. So if you know somebody that's looking for someone to talk about something interesting, it's fascinating. I mean, I think so. But about crystals or whatever it may be, Jewish perspective, I'm always very happy to oblige because I feel it is incumbent upon me and on my students, and I have lots of students, thank God, to share this knowledge. Okay. Not everybody knows about the incredible things that crystals can do for us. So let's get to learn more about what the crystals do. What are we going to be doing tonight? Okay, it's nighttime in Israel. It's dark outside. This is my window over here. That's my curtain over just over there that you can see. Sometimes it's like, what am I looking at here? And it's black over there. So I want you all to have understand the Jewish perspective on crystals. Some of you have been here with me before and to webinars, so you probably know that stuff as well as me. But I can't, it's such a basic building block for me to the Jewish element and the Jewish perspective on crystals that I feel I'm going to go over it every single time. Okay? I have different things, tell you from different perspectives, different aspects, different people, but there's always going to be that Jewish element, and that's me. Okay, and we're gonna do it a little bit differently to usual, but I want everybody to choose a crystal that speaks to them, and that we'll come to that. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about how crystal healing actually works. Then you're going to, well, okay, you'll meet some of them. The crystals will have the specific needs, crystals, the specific needs, helping us in different challenges. And of course, we'll have some real life case studies. Okay. And at the end, I'll be happy to take questions, and I'm going to discuss with you my course that I will be giving in June. I do have a special webinar offer. Okay. So hang on till the end to find out what this offer is. It's a type of offer that I actually haven't done before. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so as I said before, the month of Iyar, you see the letters here. You see Aleph for Ani, these Yuds for Hashem, right? If you look at a Siddur, Hashem is written with the Yuds, and Resh is for Rofecha, your healer. And this is what Hashem actually said to Bnei Israel once they left Egypt. Okay, in Parshat Shmot, he said, all the illnesses of Egypt, they're not going to affect you. I'm here with you. Ani Hashem Rofecha. I am God, your healer. Okay, so it's not just an expression, it is something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Bnei Israel. Okay, and the Iyar, why did I put the sapphire here? Because the sapphire is the stone for the month of Iyar. And here in Israel, it's Aleph Iyar, the first day of Iyar, second day of Rosh Chodesh. And here, in my calendar, I want to just show you, maybe I'll show you that way. Here we have the month of Iyar. Okay, and this is a beautiful, fabulous calendar. I can't do without my calendar. It's got all the different months of the year, English months, Hebrew months, for you to write in people's birthdays, anniversaries, whatever it is, and you write it in there as the month comes. Like I began Nisan today. I had to have a look and see, okay, what are the birthdays that are coming up in the month of Nisan for me? And then I put it on my next calendar. But every year, so I've got it there. My grandson, he has his second birthday on Rosh Chodesh Nisan, Rosh Chodesh Iyar. It's written there, and I've got what year they're born, so I know how old they are, because I'm not, sometimes I get confused on the ages of the different kids. So all the different things. And so it's like a great place to keep a record of everything. And it has all the info on the stones as well. It tells you which of the stones goes to which of the months. Okay. Now, here is where we are first introduced to the stones. So I want to bring this to you. In Parshat Shmot, Perek Kafchet, you can remember that. Koch, the month of Koch, the Parsha Koch, is where we're first told about the Hoshen. Okay? V'asita Hoshen Mishpat Maaseh Hoshev. Okay? And on these words, we have a lot of Mefarshim that explains what is this Hoshen Mishpat and Maaseh Hoshev? What are we talking about here? First of all, we have this fabulous replica of the Hoshen Mishpat done by Machon HaMikdash in Jerusalem. I don't get any achuzim, I don't get anything from them, but I just think they're such a fantastic place to go visit. So I always recommend, if you're in Israel and you're in Jerusalem, take the time and go to Machon HaMikdash. They build all the vessels of the Beit HaMikdash according to the specifications from the Torah, Gemara, etc. They build everything, they've created it, and it's just so exciting. It makes like, we're in Geula times, ladies. It's going to happen, and they are getting ready. So for me, it's like a really amazing place to be. And of course, in our full stop, new paragraph, right? Continue on, and it tells us exactly which stones are going to go in and where the stones go on the breastplate, how they're fitted, what size they need to be, etc., which row they should be in. So that's all in Parshat Shemot, Perek Kafchet, and those psukim. Now, if we look, see, here we have a picture of all of the Avnei HaHoshen, okay, in their order, Odem, Pitata, Bareket, etc. This is something taken from my calendar, but the calendar has more information on each of the stones. It's got pictures of them and things, but that's not what I'm here. But just this gives you a sense of all of the stones and how beautiful they are. That's what I love here, is that they're so, so beautiful, all the different stones and all together in the correct order. And here you've got the English names of the stones as well. Okay, now here, Rabbeinu Bachaye, okay, who was a Spanish Kabbalist who lived about 750 years ago, and he said, Veda, ki nimtza katuv besifrei chokhmat hateva, know that it's written in the books, the wisdoms of nature, or science, כי כל האבנים היקרות שהן עיקריות ושורשיות, all of the stones that are precious and are the main stones and are the root, the essential basic stones, enan ela yudbet. There are only 12 of these. Vehem avot lechol shara avonim. And they are the fathers, so to speak, of all of the other stones. V'chol hashar minehem anfehem v'toldotehem. And all of the rest of the stones are their, so to speak, descendants. So we know that there are 12 main stones, 12 essential, 12 basic stones, and all of the other stones are derivatives of these stones. These are the grandparents of the stones, and those 12 stones are our precious Avnei HaHoshen. So when I say I work with Avnei HaHoshen and crystals, yes, I do work with the 12 Avnei HaHoshen, but I work with lots of other stones as well. And we know that these stones are actually derivatives of those 12 stones, okay? And that is what Rabbeinu Bachaya is telling us on the pasuk before that we saw, where it says to us, over here, it says, Va'asita choshen mishpat maseh choshev, and it tells us about the 12 stones, and he takes this opportunity to tell us what those 12 stones are. And the Ibn Ezra, who was about 100 years older than him, okay, tells us about stones. He says, Koach yimtza b'toldot kol even ve'even. There's energy in each and every stone. Yesh even shemoshechet et habarzel. There's a stone that draws that draws out iron, and there's a stone hamedet hadam that balance. There's a stone to help balance the blood flow. So there are plenty of different and important stones that we have, and the Ibn Ezra is giving us examples of what stones can do. This is just a couple of examples, and know that all stones have a lot of energy. That's what he's telling us. And this is the Ibn Ezra. They're both Spanish. Okay, now here though, we have the Gemara. The Gemara is even older. The Gemara is like 1,500 years old, more or less. And it tells us, Yotzim be'even tkuma b'Shabbat, shema tapelet havlad. A woman can go out on Shabbat carrying the Even Tkuma in order that she doesn't have a miscarriage. In order to prevent a miscarriage, a woman carries the Even Tkuma. And here the discussion is about it if you're allowed to carry, because on Shabbat you can't carry unless there's an Eruv. And here he's telling us that even if she has to carry, basically, she should take this Even Tkuma with her. Now, our discussion, what for me is so amazing, is the fact that from here, I know that in the time of the Gemara, 1,500 years ago, they were using stones, they were using crystals, gemstones, whatever you want to call them. They were being used because they understood that they had medicinal value. We are recording, yeah? Okay. So, sorry, I always, in the middle of the webinars, I get, oh no. So that's quite amazing that in the time of the Gemara, they used it. So we can feel very comfortable. Not only did they use them in that time, it's a discussion. That's how they talked about Shabbat, was by talking about this Event Tkuma. The Event Tkuma in our days, okay, this is the carnelian. And the carnelian is still used today for women to help prevent miscarriage. I have sets of stones and I have the carnelian together with another stone. Together, a woman wears these stones in order to prevent miscarriage, to give her confidence during her pregnancy as well, and to really help her during the pregnancy. It's unbelievable how beneficial and helpful these stones are. I have had incredible results. The carnelian is also one of the stones, in the set, the fertility set of stones. Okay. And thank God, I really thank Hashem that a few women who have been using crystals have actually fallen pregnant. Were they doing other treatment as well? Yeah, but people generally don't come as the first form of treatment to crystals, even though I've had some people that have, and it's helped to regulate their cycle and to really, it does a lot. The stones do a lot for women. Some people can actually feel it, and I've had women who say that it makes them feel better and it's made her feel protected and all different things. You know, we all feel things very differently in all different senses. Okay. There are other sources. If we learn about stones and healing, and the Zohar, in the Zohar, it tells us the stones were not just ornamental, but embedded with heavenly light, transmitting spiritual energy to the wearer. That's an amazing thing. So and I want to tell you that one of the stones that we have is called the amethyst. Amethyst is the achlama. Okay, achlama is the stone that relates to the tribe of Gad. Okay, the tribe of Gad is the achlama, achlama being amethyst. And this is, like we call it, a very spiritual stone. And it helps us in our spiritual work. There are other stones as well that help us, our spiritual type stones. Another one is called the celestite. Okay, so these are stones that when we're doing spiritual work could be really beneficial to us, and there are many more. The Sefer HaRefuah talks about stones and their healing properties. Again, talks about the ruby being beneficial for fertility. Okay, and that's the Sefer HaRefuah. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. I mean, not that I compare myself in any way, but this is a knowledge that has been passed down that we're aware of. The fact is that ruby is good for fertility. Baruch Hashem, we have amazing answers here. Okay, and then the Chida talks about using stones in general for healing and for protection. So there are a lot of Jewish sources that are talking to us about using crystals or stones or minerals or gemstones, all interchangeable words, but they are beneficial and they are a gift that Hashem has given us. Okay? Now, I bring this here, testimonial from a woman who said, the crystals made a big difference to my husband's moods and they improved his blood sugar levels. Here we have somebody telling us at an emotional level that it improved his mood, and at a physical level, his blood sugar levels. So they have incredible benefits at many different levels. And that's what's so amazing and beautiful about the crystals. And you're going to be saying, but what do you do with the crystals, Gila? How do you work them? Are we up to that? Let's see. So there we go. Yes. Okay. You know this part, ladies, or many of you know. I want everybody here to please take a look at these crystals and choose a stone. Whichever stone works for you, note down the number. Okay? Note down the number and tell me which stone you are choosing. Give you a minute to do that.
Kayla,
Yeah.
I would choose number 3.
Okay. Okay. Right. Keep on going, ladies. Tell me what stones you want.
I can't see all the numbers. Is there a way for you to show all the numbers, please?
They're all there.
Number 4, please.
Huh? I know why, Robin.
Um, number 8.
8. Okay. Okay.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say number 3 today as well.
Okay. Okay. Um, Lily, if you want to describe which stone you want to choose, that will work too.
Thank you. It's the third from the left on the top.
This one?
I don't see you pointing. Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Green.
That's 3. Yeah.
But on my computer, you don't see the numbers there. But thank you.
Okay. Does everyone else see the numbers? That's interesting. The numbers,
Yes, I see them.
yeah, numbers are in red. Yeah. Okay, keep on calling numbers, ladies.
So I have more than one. Is that possible?
It's always possible. This is just giving us a little taste of it, okay?
9.
Okay. Okay. We have a lot of things here. We have people, we have a 6, and we have 5. I'm taking down here. Okay. 4 we have. Okay. 3. It's interesting how certain songs are just more popular, eh? But it's okay. It doesn't matter. This is actually the first time that I think I've put in the number 3. Okay, everybody's chosen? I guess so. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the next slide. And now you know the names of the stones you've chosen. Okay, it's written as well. Lily, can you see that? The names?
No, but I only the bottom ones, but thank you for asking.
That's really strange.
Well, computers and I have a different relationship. They see that I'm moving, and they
Okay.
need a crystal to help them.
Okay, well, I hope your relationship goes on the up and up, please God.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to go through a little bit these stones because I felt that these were healing stones, and I said, I'm going to discuss these stones a little bit. A lot of people chose the 3. 3 is malachite. Malachite is a strong stone. It is a healing stone, and it draws out pain. So I'm wondering, I'm going to take a photo too. That's going to make my life easier. Take photo if you want to look at it, and then I'm going to be really excited to put down the presentation and talk to you all. Okay. Okay. Everybody's seen, if you want to take a photo and then you've got the names of your stones, you know what you chose. Okay. So like this. So the malachite is a stone that is a very strong stone. So I actually generally don't recommend that people use this stone too much. Could use a little bit, but just not too much. It talks to me about pain, possibly physical pain. Okay. It could also be pain. Something's upsetting us in our heart. We're feeling something strong in our heart. Something's bothering us. Something's upsetting us. We have something, there's something seriously bothering us at the moment. Okay. So it could be physical pain or it could be emotional pain or it could be both. Okay. So can you let me know, ladies, if that resonates with you? I need to hear
So
you.
I want to say yes, and I didn't like that I was choosing it because I personally try to stay away from that stone because it's very strong. But with your explanation, it makes sense why I'm drawn to it. So my question after you do the whole presentation is, so what could a person use instead of malachite if they don't want to use malachite because it's so strong?
Okay, so first of all, you said how do person doesn't want to use malachite. So you are one of my students, you know well, okay. But how do we use stones? Stones, we can actually wear them. That's right, we could wear stones. So you could do this like I've done, and you can wear a bracelet, wear a stone. Many of you will like this a lot because a few of you have chosen this stone. Or you could wear stones like that. Or you could also place stones in your bra and you can put them in water. So there are different ways, and I'll go into them a little bit more as we move along. And at the end, I'm going to leave time for questions. So don't worry. So there are different ways that we can wear the stones. So because I tell you that malachite is a very strong stone, and I don't want you to use it on its own, but you can use it together with the amber stone, particularly for physical pain. If you have physical pain, you can take a malachite stone and an amber stone and stick them with medical tape, which I have. Okay, this is medical tape, not regular tape. You stick them on the site of the pain, and I've done it many times, the two stones together, amber, which we're going to meet a little bit later on, and malachite together. At your heart, if you have a pain, if you feel really it's heavy, you could take the malachite with the amber and put it there for about 20 minutes. See how you go. If you feel it's too strong for you, remove. And you could try using the Amazonite stone, Amazonite, like Amazon, Amazonite stone instead of the malachite. Try that, okay? And you can always try using the green aventurine stone. Okay, lots of stones that I've talked about here. Some of you are more familiar than others with these stones. Okay. Now I want to refer to the amethyst, which quite a few of you chose as well. Now, first of all,
Can I
amethyst,
ask a question?
one
Can I ask-
second, wait 1 second. Okay, when I finish going through the stones, write your questions down,
I'm gonna
please.
forget it.
Write the questions
Okay.
down and we'll
Okay.
come back to them. Okay, I said at the end, I'm going to leave time for questions and I'll stay with you. Um, The amethyst is a stone that is helpful for us to sleep at night. So if you're having sleeping problems, you're going to find, yes, exactly, Robin's nodding heavily. And she told me before, so when you chose the amethyst, it was no surprise. Okay, the amethyst is very helpful. We have actually a set of stones that we put together, okay, the sleep set of stones, which are helpful. And I was thinking about it, Robin, because Robin told me before, I said, if anybody has specific questions, I don't know if I can address them, but ask and let's see. So she asked about it because sleeping is an issue for her. And I know many people that sleeping is an issue and it's miserable. You're tired and you want to sleep and you can't sleep at night and you need the energy and you need the rest and you need all of those things. So I was thinking that maybe you should have a set of stones because it's a particular challenging area for you, that perhaps you should have a set of stones for before you go to sleep, and then a set of stones next to your bed as well. Okay. And your sleep stones, I think because it's such a serious issue for you, should be purified every day after use or every couple of days. Now, some of you may not know what I'm talking about, purified. Stones, they give us energy, okay? And they also take from us the negativity. And that's the issue with the malachite is it takes away that negativity, that negative stuff from us, but it's not very gentle. Whereas other stones, they take and they give, and they're more gentle and they're more balanced. Amethyst works, the malachite works on one side, and that's part of the reason that it's a more harsh stone. So one of the things we need to do is to recharge or purify our stones because they are absorbing our energy and because they are giving us their energy. So how do we do this? We run them under cold running water in the kitchen. Hold the stones in your hand very nicely, bunch of stones or a little plastic sieve. Hold the stones, turn on the tap in the kitchen. Water goes, 2 minutes, cold running water. And while the water's running, I want you to think. I want you to ask Hashem that he return the energy to the stones, that the stones should have the energy and it should be with Hashem's help. And then after 2 minutes under cold running water, take the stones outside and put them in daylight. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's cloudy, if it's sunny, anything is okay, but they need to go outside. Outside means outside. It doesn't mean looking at the outside. It means really feeling the outside, okay? Whether it's rain or sun, it doesn't matter, okay? Outside for 3 hours. Now, if they stay there a little bit longer, it's also okay. They're used to the outside. That's their natural habitat, okay? And then after 3 hours, you can bring them inside and use them again. Now, if, for example, you've taken the amber and the malachite, you had a pain, you had a sore arm or something like that, and you decided that you needed the amber and malachite, you stuck them, you took your tape, you stuck them, you finish using the amber and malachite after using them, put them on there for a little bit, and you take those stones and you purify them. If you don't need to use them immediately again, take them and put them in a plastic sealed bag. I go like this because I think of this Snaplock bags, okay, and seal them. They need to be closed in a plastic bag so that they retain their pure or their cleansed status, okay? So the amethyst we mentioned before, going back to that, is also a calming stone, which is something beautiful. It also strengthens our intuition. It helps us concentrate. It helps us concentrate, and it helps us to focus better. Like, okay, now when you ask questions in the middle, I lose it. So when I say plastic, I mean it's fine. It's totally fine because that's what we do. We ask questions in the chat. So maybe if there's a way that the chat doesn't come on my screen, that will be good. And then I can address everything afterwards. Maybe that's a better way. Let's see if that works for me. Okay. But things you asked and I saw, so the stones, okay, need to be in plastic. So it doesn't, you can put them in a plastic box, a plastic bag, but wood is not going to retain that level of being purified, of being cleansed. Okay. Okay, we had a lot of people chose stone number 8. Stone number 8 is the jasper Dalmatian. Okay, the jasper Dalmatian, okay, is a happy stone. This is a stone that gives us extra happiness. So I'm wondering whether you ladies who chose this stone feel like you would like a little bit more joy in your life. You know, it's like I am a happy person, but at the moment I'm not feeling as happy as I would like to feel. Okay, does that resonate with any of you ladies? Okay, yeah. So therefore, we have these beautiful Jasper Dalmatian bracelets. There's a reason that we have these bracelets. There's a reason that we wear them. Not everybody has to know, but we know that, okay? And they do amazing, amazing work for us. So I highly recommend these things. It also would indicate that perhaps there was some, during childhood, things weren't necessarily so easy as well. That's what I would tend to understand from that stone. Then we have the blue lace agate, number 9. I'm going to, according to the order of people that people chose of stones, more or less, okay? And the blue lace agate is a general healing stone. So that's why I chose it. I always choose it because I also like it. It's also a stone that tells me that you ladies who chose this stone are very capable women. And you take on a lot of things on yourself. Keep on taking on things, and you always make sure that your head's going to stay above water. Okay. The other thing is blue lace agate is a very helpful stone for communication. It's called Avnei HaHoshen, the speech stone, because people who choose this stone are actually have the ability to say things and to say things well, to talk well, but they want to be able to do it even better. So that's the blue lace agate. How does that resonate with you, ladies? Thumbs up, something or other.
Good. What did you say? Evan Ha'amunim?
Ne'umim. Ne'umim is
Na'amim.
speech, to speak. Okay?
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. Okay. And then we have stone number 6. Okay, number 6 is the tiger's eye. Okay, the tiger's eye is a great stone to help our concentration. Okay, so that's a really good stone for that, but it's also very good. I'm getting these messages and I'm talking in a different language. Ladies, I don't think I changed languages. Okay. Everything's still clear. You can hear me. You can understand me. Everything's going well. That's strange. Says we think we've changed languages. Zoom likes to have conversations with me in the middle as well. So the tiger's eye helps us focus. The tiger's eye is also a good stone for our gallbladder, okay, and for our kidneys. So one of the women studying with me chose that stone, and it was like very. Can everybody hear me? People here?
It went down.
Fine. So one of the women who studies with me chose this stone. She really wanted it. And I said, one of the other things with this stone is people may have gallbladder issues. She said, yeah, I had my gallbladder removed. So the stones are so accurate. It's quite unbelievable. Okay. Interesting. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is a favorite of mine. Actually, less so now, I'm happy to say. This is a nice piece of yellow calcite. Okay. And the yellow calcite, okay, is a beautiful stone. First of all, for me, it just eases away pain. Okay, it's more of the muscular rheumatic pain, but I think it's also great for arthritic type pain as well. It's strong, it's wonderful. It just helps to soothe the pain. My students know they can often find me, not with this size, but they can often find me with a stone stuck to, like I said before, I have my tape here, with a stone stuck to my hand because I have osteoarthritis. And it's incredible what relief this stone has given me and what it's done for me. And I've made bracelets with it. And all sorts of things. So it's also a stone that helps give us more optimism and happiness, etc. Okay, it strengthens our solar plexus. Solar plexus is this area, okay, as far as the energy centers go, and this is our area of our emotional storage. Very often, when we can't deal with certain emotional issues, we instead of being too overwhelmed, we place them in our solar plexus. That's an energy center, and we call that our emotional storage. And then at a time when we have more resources, we deal with it. Sometimes we have a bit of an issue because we keep on putting things there and putting things there and putting things there and not dealing with them. And then it gets overloaded. Anyway, that's more of an issue. That's more, we go into that more in the course, obviously. We discuss it and we understand when someone's solar plexus is full and what happens. And very often we find throat problems when people are putting too many things in their solar, etc. It's fascinating. I think it's fascinating. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm telling you about it. Okay. Okay. Is there a stone that somebody chose that I did not relate to? Okay.
Yes, number 9, I think. Hold on. Not 9. 1 second. 7. That's what it was.
Okay. Number 7. Okay, thank you. Number 3 was the malachite, was the first stone that I talked about. Okay, that takes away pain. And okay, number 7 is the bloodstone. The bloodstone is an amazing stone. It actually, when I see Rabbeinu, the Ibn Ezra's quotes, there are stones that help improve our iron levels. That's what I think of. Okay, I think of the bloodstone because the bloodstone, if you cut that stone in half, see it's like a very dark green usually, and it's got a lot of red in it. So it talks to me. It just says to me, it says its name. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you, Yehudit, for sharing that with us. Yehudit says, I'm pregnant and had low iron last check. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what to do with your bloodstone, Yehudit. You're going to take, okay, if you don't have, you can be in touch with me, obviously. Okay, but what we could do with the bloodstone is we can take the bloodstone, and I'm actually thinking because somebody else is expecting and has low iron and does not like taking all the medication. And take a few stones, the bloodstone and another stone called the garnet, put them in water and drink the water. And we'll go on, and a little bit later, I'm going to tell you about how we're going to use that. Okay, so thank you. So what we have seen, yes, absolutely, the bloodstone will help. Will help with low hemoglobin for sure. Okay, they're all it's just something amazing. There's something amazing in these stones, and I think what you all saw here is how the crystals work. What does that mean, how the crystals work? The fact is that you ladies saw that you chose crystals that are suited to your needs. Whatever you needed, that's what you chose. So therefore, Yehudit, who is expecting and has an iron issue, chose the bloodstone because she needs more iron, and that's what it's going to help her with. It also helps when you're facing challenges. It gives us more confidence. It's all different things, but that's a main issue. Okay, and the same with people who have sleep issues, choosing the amethyst, or people who want more calm in their life, all different things. And what happens? How do I work? I have lots of different crystals, and people choose crystals, right? I open my boxes up and people come and choose lots of crystals. They're like in a candy shop, choose as many crystals as they want. And I mentioned before the energy centers, the solar plexus, very, very briefly. And I set them up so I see what's going on for people in their different energy centers. I understand the meaning of each of the crystals, and I get an incredible picture of people. Okay, and then, of course, we treat with the stones. Like I said, that it's helpful to use the bloodstone in water in order to improve iron levels, for sure. Okay, now we're going back to the script, to our presentation. And we're going to continue. Okay, so how does it work? I just told you how it works. And what do we hear? We hear from people. I've noticed a significant difference in the way I feel when I wear the stones. This woman says, I didn't wear them on Sukkot, and after Sukkot, when I started wearing them, she felt a major difference. They make a difference. People feel the difference, and sometimes we can't actually tangibly feel the difference. Why is that? If you have pain, very often, some people are more sensitive, but very often we have a physical pain. We know if the pain level is reduced or if it's not. My pain was at 10. It went down to a level of 5. That's fantastic because I use the amber and the malachite, or because I use the yellow calcite or whatever it is, depends on the different pains. Sometimes we use all 4. four different stones for pain, but whatever it may be. However, when it's an emotional level, I don't have the self-confidence. A child has an issue with self-confidence. What am I going to do? Have a self-confidence issue. What do we do? Okay. How do they feel? So first of all, we treat it, we give them different stones, but that's the type of thing like it's harder to quantify. But at some stage, when a mother sees that her child is interacting with more confidence with their friends or with the kindergarten teacher or the school teacher or whatever it may be, you understand that the stones are working. Okay. Sometimes we can see it, sometimes we can't, but believe me, they're always doing their work. Okay. And then this is what a lady said. This is through the use of crystals, what I understood. She's 100%, you're right about the childhood trauma. I'm in awe at the level of accuracy. Thank God it's not me. I've chosen to mention the aquamarine because the aquamarine is probably because it's close to my heart right now. It's the only stone from the Avnei HaHoshen that I've specifically mentioned that wasn't in that presentation. Aquamarine is a tribe, a share. And if you take your fingers and you put them behind your ears, you could do that now, ladies, behind your ears and feel the indentation there. Okay, that is a wonderful place to stick stones. Okay, you can take an aquamarine and another stone and stick them there. Okay, specific set of stones to drain the fluid from the ears. They're wonderful stones. Okay, it's also a spiritual stone. It's also a calming stone. If you look at it, doesn't it look calming to you? Like the water, the blue. Gorgeous. I think it's more gorgeous now because I have a cold, and that's the sort of thing to clear me. Okay, now I wanted to mention this set. I told you that you would meet the amber, and I'm mentioning this. I chose this set specifically because even though we're in the month of Iyar, Hashem is healing us. We had Yom HaShoah, the day that we remember the Holocaust Memorial Day last week. This week we have the Memorial Day for the fallen soldiers, or for all of the people that have fallen in Israel or been murdered or different things through terrorist activities and all sorts of horrible things. So we have a day of mourning on Tuesday night, Wednesday. And so I said, that is the time for me to show people this set of stones. Okay. So we have our amethyst. And among the other benefits of the amethyst stone is the fact that amethyst stones help us to accept a situation as it is. Okay? So God forbid something happens, it helps us to cope with our grief and what's going on. The Apache tear is a beautiful, gentle stone that helps us during times of mourning. That is what it does. That's what its name. They talk about the Indian tribes and that the women were crying because their men were taken away. And this is the Apache tear stone. Okay. Now you can see that it's a black stone. And if you hold that stone up to the light, you're going to see that it's got a translucence to it. Just very often it's confusing because there are lots of black stones and we're not always sure which stone is which. So I'm giving you a hint how to differentiate the Apache tear from other stones. And then we had the amber. I mentioned before the amber because the amber is a very gentle, kind stone and helps to remove pain, both physical and emotional. It's a very beautiful, soothing stone. So this is a beautiful set of stones that are very beneficial in times of mourning. We shouldn't know from it, but it is. And plenty of times when I have gone to people that are sitting Shiva, this is what I've taken for them. Okay, there's not a lot of things that I could do, but this is something I can do to help them. Obviously, it's not for everybody. Not everybody is enamored by the crystals. Can't understand why, to tell you the truth, but that's a reality and I accept it. Okay. Here we have example of stones being in water. Okay. I talked to you about putting the bloodstone and garnet in water to increase the iron levels. And if you want to be in touch with me afterwards, because I'm going to specifically work out what to do to improve iron levels. It's on my list of things that something that I want to delve into a little bit more. The stones go in water. Now there's a specific number of stones, and there's all different things, but they can, not all of the stones, and that's a whole Torah within itself, that we obviously we learn in the course, how many stones, what stones, how stones, whose stones, etc. But they go in water, in a glass. You'll see these are all glasses. They're not plastic cups, they're glasses. They're in the water, and it's not regular water, it's mineral or spring water. We leave the water covered overnight. We drink it once in 24 hours. So, for example, I like to drink the water first thing in the morning. I drink my water first thing in the morning and I refill it. And then once a week, I purify my stones. Okay. Now, I spoke to you about special webinar offers and I have to be true to my word. Okay. Any questions about what we discussed before? Okay. Also, let's see. I sell stones. Okay. Okay, I think we're good on the questions. Okay.
I have one
Yes,
question. I have a
we do
question.
have stones that are beneficial for circulation. Okay. So, yeah.
I just, so I have a lot of books on stones and I've learned about stone medicine. Is yours, the way you use stones, different than the general? Like, is yours based on Chazal or Gemara, or do you follow the regular?
Okay, so I follow quite regular, but there are all different things. I know that lots of people say, oh, you could use this, you can do this, all different things. I follow one line. I studied with somebody, a religious woman who got a brocha from the Lubavitcher Rebbe to work with crystals and to do what I'm doing with the crystals, to do the assessments and to do the healing. So I very much follow her line of work, and she has she had many great Rabbonim actually coming to her for crystals as well, for different things. So I'm quite strict about that. And when people come up to me and say, I saw this on the internet and this on the internet, like, I don't know. The answer is, I don't know what everybody else is saying. I know what I've been taught. I know what I believe. I know what I've researched, etc. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Gila,
Yeah.
I just missed something. When you were speaking about putting the stones in a plastic bag, I
Yeah.
missed those few minutes.
Good.
What was that about?
Okay, so when we bring in the stones, if I purify stones, okay, and I don't need to use them. I've used the stones. I don't need to use them anymore for the minute. Okay, they're going to take a break. So I purify them, seal them in a plastic bag, and then they're ready for me to use again. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay. Now I will take questions again at the end. Okay, now I am running in Mirz Hashem in the month of June. I am running a course. Okay, the course is modular, so there are 5 sessions in each module, and each session is 2 hours long. So it's 10 hours in total. Okay, and it's a Zoom course, and we have a very nice vibe between the students. And it's amazing how much we can actually study and get through on the Zoom. And doing this online, I would not have believed it if I didn't do it myself, if I wasn't teaching people this way. And it's phenomenal. Okay, and I've actually taught 10 courses in this way, and now we do 3 modules, so people can choose to just say, okay, you know what? I want to do one module. It interests me. I'm going to do one module. That's it. Still interested? Do a second module. Still interested? Do 3 modules. Whatever you want, okay? There is an option for a package deal saying, you know what? I love crystals. This is something I want to do, which a lot of my people actually say, and I'm going through the whole package deal. Whatever you want, and know that there are payment plans available, okay? I had one woman when I was in America last time, and she was crazy about the crystals, and she so wanted to study. She said, Gil, I can't afford it. Then eventually she spoke to me. We worked out a plan and she said, you know what? I can do that. And she's just went straight in to do the whole package and she's loving it. And it's wonderful to have her with me. Okay. Now, what are we doing during the course? So you had a little taste of what the type of things that we could do. Okay. The type of things that we are able to do during the course.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you can stay muted, ladies, until the end, and then feel free, and I'll open up and people can ask questions as many as you want. Okay, but for the moment, if you could stay muted, please. So what we're going to learn, we learn how to identify stones, okay? And we learn practical tips. You got practical tips today? Believe me, you're going to get a lot more practical tips, okay? You get a background, you're going to get an understanding of all the different energy centers, how they work together, how they don't work together, what's going on for people. We're going to get an amazing view of somebody, and you have this holistic view. So sometimes we understand that somebody has a sore throat, not because it's cold. Why are they sensitive there? They always get sore throats because they've been through traumas, or because somebody has just got so much stored, as we mentioned, in their solar plexus. This is being expressed in their throat. All different things that we begin to understand through the use of the crystals. Okay, people use this in many different ways. I've had MD doctors taking this, psychiatrists, researchers, and I've had reflexologists, massage therapists, mums, copywriters, you name it, lawyers, everybody doing the course. It doesn't matter. And it's another skill you have, something to use with your family, something to use in your clinic, and something to love and to keep on appreciating one of these beautiful things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us. Okay, what do you get in this course? First of all, I've included in the course, I'm including for you your own private crystal assessment. So you're going to make it a time. Okay, if you look on my website, you'll see there's a little area that says free. And one of the free things is student assessment. Okay, and so you mark a time in my calendar and we do an assessment. Okay, after each session, you receive handouts on the email. You get a box of crystals, a beautiful box of crystals. Everything is labeled so you know which is which. Now, each module has a new box of crystals. So therefore, 3 modules, 3 boxes of crystals. And in each box, you get 2 of each crystal. Nobody else does this, but I felt that students want to have their stones in their boxes so that they can study with the crystals. You know, when I talk about the red jasper and the yellow jasper, etc., it's in their box, but they also want to be using it, whether it's for themselves or whether it's for a family member or whatever it may be. And I want you to use it. That's what they're there for. So I decided I'm going to take on myself that I give everybody 2 of each stone, okay? And nobody's ever complained about that, that's for sure. That's a really nice thing to have. And yes, the crystals are delivered to you. You don't have to worry about picking them up and where you're going to get them and how you're going to get them. I will have them delivered, please God, to your door. Okay, now, so your crystal assessment valued at $290. The double crystals, $300 value. Delivery to your home is $50. Class, $1,000. Notes and explanations, $800. That comes to almost $2,500. That's a lot of money. So I'm not going to take $2,500 from you. The price is actually $658 for the first module. The second module is less, and the third module is even less. Okay, so there is a price rating. So $658 you can save. Like, that's a great saving there. And then I want to tell you that if you book by the 25th of May, you decide you can have it even cheaper for $590. And even at that $590, I still do payments, okay? So I never want it to be that people are not studying the crystals because they can't afford it. Let's work out a way. If you've got an issue, be in touch with me. Send me a message. I want to help you. I want to teach you if you want to learn, okay? It's very important to me. Now we have the package deal, okay, which brings down the price further, obviously, okay, which means you could decide from the outset, I'm going to do the 3 modules. You get 3 boxes of crystals. You get a better price. Included, you get a bottle of therapeutic oil. This is amazing for pain relief. You just use it. It's unbelievable. And it's for any different ailment, and you just use it. It's got crystals and oil in it, only good things, so you can't use too much of it ever. And you can probably never have enough of it as well. Okay, it gives you so much more information and basics and confidence to be able to bring this skill to people that you work with or to your family. Okay, you get a certificate when you complete the package deal. When you complete modules 1, 2, and 3, you get a certificate, and it also causes you to have a certain level of commitment. Once you decide that you're doing the package deal, you're more invested, and you're going to do it. But that being said, everybody should choose what works for them. And as I said, I've got a payment plan. We're going to work it out so you can do it. All right. So if you decide to do the course 1, 2, 3 modules comes to a total of $1,700 for you. If you get in on the early bird, you can save and you can do it's $1,500. These prices aren't exact because the dollar fluctuates. At the end of the day, I charge in shekel. Okay, it's a little bit cheaper in Israel, not much cheaper because of basically the delivery fees. Okay, so and the package deal is $1,356. All 3 courses. What could be? You know what? And there is also, if you're not happy, some reason somebody's not happy. I've done 10 courses. I've had 2 people that have asked me for their money back. Not a problem. Okay. So we always work it out. That's my thing.
Quick question. I have a quick
Wait,
question.
can you please just wait to the end, okay? And then I'll answer all questions. And they don't have to be so quick either. Okay. And then I want to tell you, this is just for you ladies that are here. Okay. If you sign up for the course, okay, you get a 5% discount on anything in the gift shop. That includes the sets, bracelets, whatever may be there. And you're going to get, with your box, you're going to get a bonus bracelet, okay? This beautiful bracelet. So I invite you to share up. The webinar offers are available to Thursday midnight. I take it Thursday midnight, let's say Los Angeles time, to give you the longest amount of time. Okay, I don't want anyone to say, but it wasn't midnight by me yet. Okay, so you've got time. And if you have questions, you can ask me now. You can email me, you can WhatsApp me with the greatest of pleasure. Okay, there are testimonials, and what I want to do is to 1 second and just show you something else quickly. Here, I want to share with you. I want to try. Isn't that weird? Do you know how things go when you look for things? Okay, what I wanted to show you, ladies, and that I'm not going to be able to do it now. Okay, what I want to show you, okay, that's much nicer for me, is on the website how to actually sign up. It's really easy, but I can't share the screen with you for some reason. It's not letting me share that part with you. It doesn't want me to. Go under courses, and there's information. There are dates. The courses are taking place in June, and they're on Sunday from Israel time, 6:30 p.m. But it's written there in all different countries. If you've got questions, ask me. Go further down, and you have the option to sign up as an Israeli or for somebody from overseas for module 1 or for the package deal. So you've got module 1 or package deal, Israeli or not. Okay,
It's
really easy. But if you have any queries, something doesn't make sense, then be in touch. If you want payments, you need to be in touch with me. We need to set it up manually. Everything's doable. Okay, ladies, now I'm happy to open the floor. Unmute
When you purify the stones and you put them outside on the ground, can they be in a glass container?
Sure.
Or a cardboard container?
Whatever you want. You can put them on the ground, you can put them on a container, whatever works for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you mind going over the different stages? You have 3 courses. So you explain the first one. I don't know the second or the third. What are you teaching?
The first course we do more background stuff. The second course, we're practicing more. We have more stones, more practice. We learn to make the oil, okay? And you can use the oil because I'm sending you a bottle of oil and you get to use it as well. And then we work more. And then in the third level, you've got a broader range. You've got 3 boxes and your skills have improved that much more. And we're good. We're doing assessments. We're working more on the assessments and with other things that people bring to us. I have guest speakers that come as well to show you how other people use crystals. I use them in a certain way mainly for assessments. But Aviva was on the course last night and she studied with me in one of my first courses and continued and continued. And she's a trauma therapist. And she uses them with acupuncture and all different things, and she shows us how she uses the crystals.
No, just stay off my case. Stay off my case.
One other question is it recorded? If I can't come, are the courses
Classes are all recorded, and after class, I send out a recording to everybody. Okay? So absolutely. I've got people, which I prefer less because you see that I'm a people's person and I like people and I like to see my students, but I have students that I've actually never met. There's nothing I could do. That's fine. That's fine. If that's the way people choose in the end to study, then that's okay too. But I obviously prefer, and I think people gain more benefit at the end of the day when they can turn up to class and they can ask their questions, etc. It's interactive, and we have a little break, and I leave everything open during the break except for the recording, right? And then people can interact with each other, and it's amazing actually how friendships have developed with different people. All over the world. So it's really cute.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Are you open to other questions at this point yet?
Yes,
Or
sure.
wait?
Sure. No. Now it's question time. I'm here.
Okay, great. So you mentioned about the behind the ears to drain ear fluid, and I am wondering if the aquamarine stone as well. I have glaucoma, which doesn't drain the fluid in the eyes, and also some edema in my legs. Do you think that the aquamarine would be a useful stone for that, or do you have other stones to try around the drainage issues?
Okay, so I always believe in trying the aquamarine. I think it's beneficial and I think it's worthwhile trying and sticking them. Okay, and I've had good results with it. Can I guarantee it? No, I can't. Okay.
Of course not.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really a minor investment. I have to tell you, if it's 100 shekel, which, is maybe $30, it's just totally worthwhile trying. That's my
Of course.
philosophy, and it's natural. So it's not like you're putting something problematic and it's something that you have. That's the other issue that's so lovely with stones. Just
And
use them.
one other follow-up, sort of the same, but not quite, is you have a recommendation for also my body doesn't process salt. 500 milligrams is my max for 30 years.
Wow.
Salt sensitivity. So just for just moving things in the body, the salt and the water now is a more recent issue, but is this similar, or can you have any intuitive sense of another approach for other stones, additional stones? I definitely would.
It seems to me that in your case, we would want to understand what's going on more. And if you would choose stones, you would do an assessment, we would have a clearer understanding of what would be good for you. Okay, like certain pointed things, yes, we know we have a set of stones. I don't sleep well at night. Here's a set of stones. I recommend you try it. Very often, what I will say to somebody, it's not helping them, it's not working. Let's do an assessment because we need to understand what's causing it. The issue with the crystals is we get to understand more deeply what's going on for somebody. Okay, when I had this man who came to see me on Zoom, unbelievable. He came to see me on the Zoom, and I said to him, and he had a bedroom issue, okay, and he was doing all different things, food, and it's very unpleasant for him, obviously, and it was an emotional issue, and I could see that through his use of the crystals. They had treated the physical, all the other treatments he'd been through treated the physical. I came along to treat the emotional side. Okay. Oh, and I could see that he was abused as a kid, not by his family, but by his peers, that they had been abusive towards him. And this had affected his masculinity as a 40-year-old man. So we need to very often get a little bit deeper, and sometimes we can just cleanse things out. Through the use of crystals, there's ways of cleansing, and you'll see if you go in, there's consultations on my website, and I have all different packages on the website for, and included in that are, with the packages are actually crystals. And not only are the crystals there, but there's crystal essences, and they're very beneficial. I buy the crystal essences, but I found that they're very beneficial for cleansing as well. And I always use crystals in conjunction with the essences because I want somebody to be left with crystals. You buy the crystals once, actually, they're included in the package, so you don't even buy them, so to speak, and you have them. They're amazing. Crystals are really wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So are you saying that you can work with trauma cases without talking at times? Like if you have men who it's difficult for them to express, you can use the crystals instead? That could be
Yeah, one of my students said to me, she called me up, a student who'd studied with me about a year and a half ago, whatever, and she had an assessment. She said, but Gilly, she's not talking to me. I said, she doesn't need to talk to you. We know, we can see that she had what went on, that she had a rough childhood, she didn't get on with her mom, and that her father was abused. We can see these things, but we don't need to go there again. It's not necessary. Very often, think about it, very often when we go through challenging times, okay, we like to put it aside, but they need to be dealt with. And when you talk about it again, you're going through it again. We don't necessarily have to do that at all. We can just treat it through the crystals in a gentle way and cleanse it, okay? I will ask people for verification. I do want to understand. And if people choose to talk to me, I'm a social worker as well, so I'm very comfortable talking with people about their issues as well. So it's not a problem. Basically, what I'm saying is either way works.
nice. Have you worked with autistic at all, kids?
Yes,
You have.
I have.
Successfully.
Yeah. And what's amazing is that I could see this little girl, a child that I had, that had, she had something else, wasn't autism, but it presented was very similarly. And I had no idea. That's one thing that the mother didn't tell me. And I'm working on her assessment. It wasn't a specifically easy assessment, I have to say, but I'm working on it. And it's like, this child seems to me to be autistic. And then, I would never say that to a mother, but I said something. She said, "Oh, did I tell you that, da, 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 da." And it's like, okay, now it all fits in.
And it helped. It helped.
Helped this child immensely, but immensely. Thank God. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
How many students usually are in your classes?
Somewhere around 10. Okay. 10, 15, 8, 7, but I'd say an average is 10, between 10 and 15. So it's a nice size group. Sometimes more people turn up than others. Some groups are more there. Each group is different. Okay.
Thank you.
What's the schedule? Is it this time of day and week?
It's a little bit earlier. It's on Sundays. I do the classes on Sundays because I find people overseas aren't working on Sundays and are more free to take the course. And it is at 6:30 p.m., which is 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. 11:30 till 1:30. Hannah, you made a face. What sort of time it works for you?
I'll adjust. That's a tough time for me because usually that's Sunday when we're catching up. But is it like once a month?
Once it's a week. No, actually, the classes are weekly, but they go according to the Jewish calendar, so to speak. So in the month of Nisan, before Pesach, for example, we don't have classes. Jewish women do not want to be studying courses like this in Nisan. They want to be Pesach cleaning, so we don't have classes. if I know that there's also President's Day weekend, or I don't know what weekend coming up, I'm not going to schedule a class because people go away. So I've tried to schedule. You can all the list of classes are on the website, and I'll send in a follow-up email. I'll send you a link to that site, and then you can see exactly what the dates of the classes are. And give me feedback, okay? Because I take into account what people say as much as I can.
Okay.
So
can you? Sorry. I wanted to say, can you just repeat what number 9 was? That blue lace agate.
blue lace agate, sure, is a stone of communication. It helps us to speak more clearly. Okay, it's usually people who know how to speak well and want to speak a little bit better. It's also usually people who are a capable person who takes on a lot of things, takes on a lot on themselves, but makes sure never to like drown, but just keeping their head above water. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
resonate?
Yeah. That one more than the amethyst. I mean, I chose the two, and amethyst, like, I don't have trouble sleeping really. I don't
And
know. I
it's
don't know
not
why.
just sleeping at all. There's a differentiation between there were two different types of amethysts up there in the picture. Okay.
Mhm.
And one of them specifically indicates sleep, and the other one doesn't, talks about having more calm in our lives, spirituality, different things. Okay.
That one, that part a little bit resonated. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I'm just going through the chat to see if there's anything I haven't addressed. I think we're good.
Gayla,
Yeah,
there's a question about jewelry.
about jewelry.
Wait, cleansing jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does it need spiritual cleansing?
we do cleansing under the water. The energy, all the different energy from the sunlight and from the being outside will give it the cleansing. It's sort of, I feel like we had Noach Bateva when Noach was in the ark and it rained, the world was bad. It needed cleansing. So for 40 days it rained, it was out, and then it came back cleansed and it did all the cleansing. So I sort of feel like we wash it very similar to what went on in the ark, and then we put it outside. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
You had also mentioned at the beginning a stone that would help balance blood flow, but didn't name it.
Hematite.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay. Someone asking me about the opal. I don't use opal. Opal is a stone that it's not a reliable stone. It's just got a different chemical makeup and it's just not reliable. So it's one of those stones that I keep away from. Okay. I say no. Okay, ladies, it's been lovely being with you this evening. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining me. Okay, and Lihitraot, and please be in touch with any